Out of all the rivalries we've discussed amongst the channel, this is the first one that actually started off not as a rivalry, but rather as a friendship. What's going on, guys? My name is Tyler, and today we will be discussing who was right between the binary brothers, Hawk or Demetri. Hawk and Demetri's conflict doesn't really start until season 2, where we have Demetri at the victory party of Cobra Kai, despite him not even being a part of the dojo. Hawk takes the food right from him, which was uncalled for, but this really isn't too serious since they are best friends by this point still. But this is just the start of the conflict in my opinion. Demetri lies about being a part of Cobra Kai later on just so girls can talk to him, and Hawk sees this as him being corny. And over the course of season 2, we have Hawk just repeatedly telling him to join the dojo, getting more and more aggressive, and by this point we have Demetri trying to give Cobra Kai another chance. And then yeah. Demetri, right after being hit by Kreese, tells Hawk about what happened, but Hawk decides to go against Demetri and says how he's just weak and he better not snitch or else he's gonna get beaten up. This is when Hawk sees Demetri leaving a bad review about Cobra Kai, which sets Hawk off. What I like about Demetri is, despite being too honest, he always sticks to his true nature. And this is sort of important when talking about him and Hawk's conflict because it actually contrasts with Hawk's arc, which his overarching arc throughout the entire show is him finding himself. At first we have him becoming Hawk and flipping the script. Then we have him taking Kreese's lessons a little too seriously, becoming an entirely different monster than before. And it's not like, oh, he's the next Miguel or whatever. No, he's turning into something a lot more vicious. And this is sort of what season 2 and 3 focus on. While Demetri in season 1 was sort of just the annoying comedic effect character, but now he's actually sticking to his true nature and unironically doing what he believes is right. And the first instance of this is when Hawk legit brings other Cobras at the mall to then force Demetri to delete the review or he's gonna get beaten up. And they quite literally do what they said they were going to do. Demetri has to run from his best friend for his life and get the help of Sam and Robbie in order to win. Hawk being a bully to his best friend upsets Moon, causing her to break up with him, angering Hawk even more. And this is when Kreese decides to intervene and help channel Hawk's anger and allow him to be a big obstacle for Miyagi-Do. He spray paints over the whole dojo, plus Hawk takes the Medal of Honor, quite literally going against everything that he was taught by from Gianni. Watching Hawk from seasons 2 to 3 are probably some of the most frustrating times while watching Cobra Kai. Not only is Hawk switching up on Demetri, but everything he believes in is now changed. While Hawk's character spirals down into darkness and begins to gain overconfidence, we have Demetri learning to believe in himself to begin with and step into the light. And this would lead into their next encounter, which would be at Moon's party, where he actually almost reaches Hawk. And for context, Eli just saw his girlfriend kiss another girl, plus he just got bullied by Miguel in Coyote Creek. But then the comment Demetri makes against Hawk sort of gets into his head, which wasn't the intention, but personally, I'ma just say this. What Demetri said to Hawk was not the best thing you could say to a friend who just saw his ex hook up with another girl in front of him.
There's that winning attitude that pushed her away in the first place.
But at the same time, why did Hawk throw a drink on Demetri, bruh? That was not necessary whatsoever. Demetri goes on to then embarrass Hawk in front of everyone, and his reaction to this is obviously to try and beat up Demetri. But luckily, Robbie and Chris intervene along with the cops, so Hawk now has to wait until the first day of school. Now, before we even get into the school fight, I do want to talk about this scene of Demetri quote-unquote standing up for himself. I don't really see this scene as Demetri taking a stand against Hawk. Rather, Demetri is just so frustrated that he decides to basically play Hawk's own card against him, rather than quote-unquote, redeeming himself. Oh my god, Demetri got his moment. And since Hawk sees this, obviously the anger is going to be building up, and then we have the school fight. This leads into the school fight where Hawk would try to beat up Demetri, but there are two factors to take into account. One, Hawk has been getting off guarded multiple times, and he should just be exhausted by this point. Plus, the moment Hawk was at his most overconfident, that's when Demetri finally used what Daniel was trying to teach him and catch the W. This brings us into season 3, where Hawk decides to get revenge at Miyagi-Do, waiting for the right opportunity. At first, it was a gradual build-up from Nate getting jumped to getting Sam and the others in trouble at school, messing up Demetri's project, but it all leads up into Miyagi-Do bringing the fight to Cobra Kai, but that's what they wanted. We see the Cobras initially losing, but when Tori comes into play, the other Cobras begin to turn the tides, leading leading into Demetri and Hawk crossing paths, and Demetri yet again has to face Hawk, but it's clear that Hawk was right when he said that Demetri got lucky in their first encounter, showing that he can do what Miguel was hesitating to do, and proving to Kreese that he has what it takes to be the next champion. Demetri would have a broken arm throughout most of season 3, but it wouldn't be so bad since he and Yaz get way closer from this, plus Hawk's actual friends are still cool with Demetri, because he's not putting on a tough bully act. Hawk throughout this season is shown to have a hunger for power, and he wants to be the champion that Kreese needs. But every single time he's let down, being shown that there are other people better than him, alongside him himself realizing what this power is making him become. Hawk is turning into a modern Dutch, and he's reminded of the one person who was there for him even when he was spiraling down, that being Demetri himself. And so when we see him return to the light and save Demetri, it's satisfying to see that this conflict has finally disappeared, and for the first time on the channel, we are actually discussing a conflict in Cobra Kai that gets resolved. And it's clear Demetri definitely had his flaws and was sometimes annoying, but being annoying is probably better than being a person who snaps their best friend's arm for the sake of clout. Demetri at his worst sort of embarrassed Hawk at a party and annoyed him. Yeah, I don't know what to say if you think Hawk was right in this conflict. And besides, Demetri gets bonus points for literally helping Eli find himself in season 4. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, comment down below what other conflicts you'd like me to discuss that's in Cobra Kai, along with subbing and hitting the bell icon if you are new. Share the video with your friends and your grandma, and I'll see you guys in the next one.